everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time we're reviewing on X Factor issue number 5. Now, as you know, this issue is meant to have the first cameo appearance of Apocalypse. Now, in the story, the main villain behind characters like Frenzy, Stinger, and all that was meant to be the sort of Ling leader, Owl, but was changed in production to Apocalypse. Personally, I got the comic signed by Louise Simonson back in Comic-Con a few years back, and personally asked her what she thought of the film version. And the cover mainly has the team X Factor against characters like Time Shadow and all that. And of course, X Factor is supposed to be a sort of spin-off X-Men team, and let's get on the story. It starts off how an unknown person is running away from the other mutants, and of course, there's more truths about him than there is. And we see them getting away with them saying, "We can't let him get away! I'll blast that car to bits, Frist." Stinger, no. And of course, they have to kind of know that he's their key for amplifying their powers, and know that he's left a trail. Of course, we see X Factor working at the gym, and we kind of see as well how Bobby plays a prank on Hank, who says, "Drake, I've lost my balance." And of course, Angel manages to save Hank, and we kind of see how they play a little get back at Bobby, and we kind of see how, they kind of teach him a bit of a lesson and mess around with him. We see how the unknown guy is revealed to be a junkie named Michael, who tries to call his ex-wife Susie, who wants nothing to do with his drug-like life. And of course, does try to call X Factor to sort of handle the problem. We see how Hank tries on some new clothes, which kind of makes him look a bit, like something from Gem and the Holograms. We see how they get word from the X Factor comlinks and head off. We see Scott talking with two other mutants that they've saved, Arthie and Rusty. Now, keep in mind, Rusty was in the second film, Deadpool 2, and we kind of see how Scott tries to keep things under control, and we see Arthie showing Rusty why Scott is the way he is, and we see that Jean is taking some university work, and is also trying to get away from Scott due to his more dickish behaviour. And we see Coleman Edge talking to them about this unknown person, and the woman Susie for reason for calling, and knowing they aren't really specialised in dealing with drug addicts, but do so anyway. We see Susie packing, but of course ends up getting attacked by Susie and Michael's friends, who have more connection with Michael. And we see them heading into the sort of apartment building or motel. They mainly get in, but turns out Michael's stoned out of his mind. They manage to kind of help him back to health, but his powers end up going haywire, which turns out amplifies his powers, and of course reveals what happened. Back in Vietnam, he was mainly sent to a recovery facility, and turns out his mutant powers were activated quite later, and turns out it was only done so due to the drugs he was taking, which turns out gives other mutants a power boost. And we see how Michael believes that this is the only way he can do things, but we see the other X-Men not wanting to see this happen. And Michael saying, "No, I'm not letting anybody use me for a guinea pig again." And we see them trying to calm Michael down, until Michael's friends like Tower and that show up to cause trouble. And we see X Factor getting ready to take them on. We see how, despite their best efforts, they're not really best against them amplified. And keep in mind, since Michael is meant to be a living battery, he kind of ended up giving them more powers than he should. And we see Scott saying, "You did this, Nolan. We haven't got a chance unless you power us up. No, no more. You wind up a power junkie like them. Gotta get away to find Susie." But of course, we see how despite their effort, they ended up getting beaten and defeated. And we see Michael going away with them, and X Factor basically pummeled to death. And it turns out the mastermind behind it is meant to be Apocalypse's first cameo appearance. And keep in mind, the original story was meant to feature Al as the mastermind, but instead Apocalypse, which I think was a better choice, with Apocalypse saying, "So swears Apocalypse." And this is the story. So I think, to me, X Factor issue 5 is a good starting point to Apocalypse. Keep in mind, we have seen Magneto, Mr. Sinister, the anti-mutant haters and that. It's nice that they're kind of giving you a more taste of a different environment, showing you what a potential threat like Apocalypse can be. And I think Louis Simonson made the right choice in changing the villain, because I feel Arrow is more used as a Daredevil villain, and I think Apocalypse is more of a cosmic threat for the X-Men to face. So I think this issue deserves a thumbs up. Still good, and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.